with the size of the night, and however it must have hurt if LeBron did indeed lie to him about I didn't know anything. Thanks for helping me the last few years. I'm going to go the rest of the way with someone better than you because business, baby, it's hard. Huh? I'm going to just lie. Maybe I lied to you, maybe I didn't, but Anthony Davis probably hurt somewhere in there because there's a human being in there. But the Luka human being, and this one was so interesting to me. I'm not going to say this league is plagued by foreigners being greater at basketball than Americans are, but when people are coming over from other countries and trying to sell their personality to us in their second language, some of them, like Giannis, can do it and fight through it. Jokic doesn't seem to care too much about it. This guy, we don't actually know in any meaningful way, except like, holy, that's great at basketball. Now, Dallas knows him. Dallas feels like it knows him because they have more of those little interviews and the little personality, and they know the reporting and they care. But the world knows Luka Doncic, but doesn't really know him. Dallas knows him, and Dallas has a relationship with him, and that relationship was shocked. Shocked in a way that people will not forget. Mark Cuban, brave and bold. I never would have done that, backing away from it, because Mark Cuban knows, oh, that's the power of sports. That's the power of connection. Oh, look, a regular season game. A guy does care because the fans have moved him with a video after, the Heat made that video real quick for Jimmy Butler. It was going to be longer than that, and then it was like, no, make it shorter than that. Let's cut that out. Let's get it out real quick. Dallas moved Luka last night, and he makes a basket wiping tears from his eyes. Are you shitting me? You're going to tell me these guys don't care? He's too fat. He's lazy. He got that good, fat and lazy.
That was a moment. You're right. I didn't see it live. I've seen it on replay 2 or 3 times. And that is the power of sports. And the Dallas fans should be proud of themselves for the reaction they gave to him, which moved him to tears.
Okay, but it's not just the power of sports. Forgive me for a second. It's the power of stories, and it's hard to tell them in your second language.
Right.
Like what's happening in that league with the greatness, as people say, I don't like Jokic's style. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the most unstoppable thing that you've ever seen offensively, unless it's Luka. And these guys are distorting the sport. But at this moment, you've seen this guy play a ton of basketball. You know he cares. You've seen him emotional. You've seen him celebrate himself. You haven't seen him move to tears in a way that's just totally human. Totally human. In that sport where nobody's moved to tears, you got to be tougher than everybody else. You have to be you have to be physically stronger.
Easy, it's basketball. Stop. Be tougher than everybody else.
Mr. NASCAR over here.
Come on. Mr. Every other sport.
Yeah. Watch some hoops, buddy. How about you watch some hoops?
You know what they do?
Last night was special. Last night was a where were you moment.
I did watch
Where
it.
were you?
I watched it I was on my couch. Inter Miami had the main screen. Luka and his return had top left. Macklin Celebrini versus the Thrill Kaprizov had the other screen. On mute. By the way, Macklin had a hat trick. He's going to be a top 5 player.
Last night was a where were you game?
It was. It was a where were you?
No, it was a moment in time.
Where were you?
I was at home watching the game.
I made sure that the audio was on for the tribute and the start of it to hear Fire Nico and all the Luka chants. It's one of the few. That sport has a, as we've covered for years now, has a regular season problem. It's not often where there's a regular season game that feels like you actually have to watch. They pulled that off. It took the dumbest trade in the history of the sport to do that, to draw my eyes to it. But yeah, I was there. I was locked in for it. And then it got put on mute because, there was another pretty great athlete in a sport that you might actually have to be tougher and physically. In soccer, that's right. Soccer, you have to be tougher.
All right, this is a basketball segment. Hold on. So if I put you, all the players in the NBA, and I give you a choice, what player would give that emotion, right? With a trade, with leaving, with coming back. Dallas and Luka had a special relationship where the only thing we've really seen to that degree is when Klay came back to Golden State, where they had a very big celebration for him. They were the Captain Klay hats. Like, it was a very happy thing. What other player draws that kind of emotion?
I remember when Dwight came back to Orlando for the first time. When LeBron
that wasn't a where were you moment.
What? Do you remember the?
I do remember. Wasn't
the whole loyalty play that Dwight Howard made?
He just happens to remember where he was. It's different.
Okay. I was probably at home.
Okay, like Vince's return to Toronto. There have been big returns where everyone's kind of locked in, where there will be a vocal crowd. There's emotion attached, be it positive or negative. There are moments like that. It's not often, especially with Luka's in his prime. It's.
Let's clarify. It's a where were you moment for fans of the NBA.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't think I'll remember exactly where I was. I'll remember that I watched it.
I've got a top 5 of where were you moments in the NBA. You guys want it?
Is this on the top 5? Ooh, I want to find
I
out.
remember where I was when Dwayne Wade returned to Miami. We don't like to talk about it.
Could
but
make it. Could not. I don't know. Dan, you want the top 5?
I'm not sure if I want that top 5. I need to think about this for a second, because if we're going to rank that in terms of moments, I will say that Luka is going to have a career with an unfathomable a number of moments, and he will never forget that one. Like, that will be very high. Making a basket with tears in your eyes, showing America more of yourself than you've ever shown in a game we were all watching is the power of stories. It's not just the power of sports. Like, this sport has been great at trafficking in the stories, as we don't care about regular season basketball, introducing us to stars who have revealed themselves to us more than the guys in football. The NBA, to the degree that it has been altered by these physical freaks who have totally changed the way the sport is played and makes it more majestic athletically than it's ever been. Like, it's crazy. When I tell you that Steph Curry might as well be doing all of that on an actual magic carpet, and that he's doing it among giants like Giannis and Jokic, the whole thing is absurd. And this player, Stan Van Gundy, says the best offensive player ever hasn't been so with the Lakers. Try and figure it out with LeBron, the smartest player in the history of the league. How do I figure out how this fits and stop going 6 for 19 from the floor and 1 for 7 from 3, which is the stat line. It was weird to see the stat lines. Then he has his best game going back emotionally to Dallas. Like, has a game where you're like, oh, that's what it's going to look like for the Lakers for 10 years as soon as LeBron leaves, if he doesn't get fat.